Well, hello and welcome back to the O Show Added Time. It's a brand new feature this season that we're going to be introducing here. And I'm joined by Michael Radbourne, Mike Brown Music and Danny Macklin. And we're going to be chatting through this afternoon's action against our match with Stevenage. Now I'm going to start off with my good friend here, Danny. Danny, it's been kind of a long but a tough summer so far, hasn't it?
It has. I think we were glad to get out there a couple of weeks ago and get the game under our belt and get the 3 points. It's been a tough period. Now it's about how we move on as a club on and off the pitch, and try and pick up the points as where we can. Today was tough. I know we'll allude to it a bit more, but on another day we probably would have got a hatful of goals had those chances gone in.
And looking away kind of from what's happened on the pitch so far this season and looking at it from a club perspective, how do you feel the business has gone this summer? We've got a new kit supplier, there's lots of new stuff happening around the ground. Has it been a positive summer for you in that respect?
It's been a huge amount we've had to do in relation to various bits. So you alluded to new kits. We've obviously bought the shop in-house. There's an awful lot of projects that we've done. Some have been a little bit further behind, mainly because of Wembley, if I'm honest, in terms of that sort of lost a few weeks' momentum. And obviously other instances that took place, we say, over the summer, took some of that time away. But there's an awful lot that's in the pipeline over the next few weeks for fans to feel even more engaged with this great club.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us today, Danny, to chat through the game as well. And now, Michael, we're here at the Brow Group Stadium. It was only our second league home game of the season. It was a 0-0 against Stevenage. It was a fairly decent game, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't say it was the worst 90 minutes of football.
I think first and foremost you've got to look at it as a point gained, in a way, even though it is maybe slightly disappointing with the chances we had to maybe come away with only the 1 point, but created a lot of chances today, which is an improvement on where we was on the first game of the season, and obviously away to Macclesfield. But yeah, positives out there today, big positives.
Yeah, it was. And Michael, let's kind of go back to 2 o'clock this afternoon when the starting lineups were announced. We saw Joe Widdowson come back in at left back. We saw James Brophy slot into that number 10 role. How were you feeling going into it? This is for me, I remember Stevenage as a team we were playing in the league. They were always tough games. How did you feel going into it once those lineups been announced?
I was pretty confident, to be fair. Being down in Plymouth on Tuesday, seeing Brophy slot into that number 10 as a sub, he looked awesome. He picked up the ball. He's got that determined to drive, which is very, very good. And he loves beating players. It was good to see Joe Widdowson back in the squad. It was again Tuesday night, 90 minutes under his belt, and I just think we dominated the game.
I'm glad you highlighted James Brophy there because he was electric, all game. Do you think he's kind of the one in this team who drags that team forward? He added that something different today, didn't he?
Well, as Mike alluded to earlier, when Widdowson made his return against Plymouth, I thought that's great because it would allow Brophy to be in that number 10 role, and he showed today, you'd want your best attacking player when it comes to dribbling to run at them players, and today I thought everything went through him. He was superb today. Every time he got on the ball he looked a threat, and yeah, he was fantastic.
He did. He looked pretty creative, and I think his stats this season are crazy. I think he's got one of the highest amount of dribbles in League Two. But let's kind of look just ahead of him to the strikers, Danny. I thought they played all right today, Lee Angol and Connor Wilkinson. They both haven't hit the back of the net yet, but they're looking pretty lively as a strike partnership up front, aren't they? Yeah,
I think it'll only be a matter of time. I think their link-up play is encouraging. They're feeding off others. They'll feed off each other even more as they get more games under their belt as a unit. But they're bringing players into it that in the channels. And another day, and so I said it a moment ago, we would probably got a hatful. And that's no disrespect to Stevenage. They gave us a very good game and blocked countless shots. And be interested to see Joe's analysis later of just how many attempts were destined for the goal.
One thing that I struggle with a little bit, and I think we're talking about all these players that can slot in the midfield, Brophy in the number 10 or the left back. We had Louis Dennis come off the bench, Angol and Wilkinson up top. Do you think there's a certain case at the moment of we're trying to find that attacking formation that will just click, Michael?
I do, and no disrespect, the 2 strikers are finding their feet. They haven't played together, like you say, with Wilson coming up from Dagenham. It's a totally different strike force. They've just got to learn to play with each other. And the same with Dennis coming on. He looked an impact player, but it's trying to find that partnership with playing with each other, and then once it clicks, who knows what will happen.
I agree there, but one real positive I took from today, Mike, was the speed I felt at which we were playing out from the back. Dean Brill's distribution today, it looked a notch faster than a lot of other games I've seen him play, even the last season.
Yeah.
We were rolling it out to the centre backs, taking short goal kicks. The O's were trying to play good football, weren't they?
Well, it just showed they tried to get the tempo going in this game, but recently we've had a lot of the ball, just not been quick enough with it, and I think that's trying to be addressed. And it shows with the quick distribution from Brill. There was one first half when he just pinged the ball straight over to Joe Widdowson. I was like, here we go. It's good to see. It's really good. It's really good to see when your keeper's on the ball and looking to get play moving quickly, trying to catch him on Stevenage on the back foot.
It's because I think it's fair to say we haven't, Danny, started the season probably in the most electric form, most free-flowing form. But have you seen signs out there from the play that we were doing, especially I find in that kind of middle section in the first half and early in the second half? We looked like a team that could really play football, didn't we?
Go back to Tuesday, there weren't a huge amount of chances created, and just whilst we're on that, credit to the fans that made that long trip, the 200 odd. But today we created a huge amount more chances than what we did on Tuesday, and that across all levels of the park. And if we weren't creating chances, that would be a concern. But today proved that we are, and so another day, it's a different story.
And for me, we were kind of the only team that looked like we'd scored today. We were on top for, personally, I'd say 88 minutes. We were on top. One thing I would say, it was when Dan Happy went off injured. I mean, I thought he was immense. He went off injured, which was a bit of a kick in the teeth. We persisted with that 5-3-2, Michael. Even when losing Happy, Brophy went to left back and Joe Woodson went to centre back. Do you feel are you almost wanting to see a little bit more openness from the O's, a little bit more creativity going forward?
It would be. There was times today that we'd get the ball to the final third and then we'd turn back and we'd try and play it back across the pitch, try and go out to Widdowson, or the same with coming back across the link. With me personally, I'd like to get us to get the ball out of the feet and just whip it in there, because that's where Wilkinson, Angle, Dennis, Harold, when he comes on, they're going to get them chances. Put it in the back of the net, and I think that's what we need to have a go at, really.
And just looking back at Dan Happy real quickly, he did come off kind of late in the second half, but for that. Especially for the first 60 minutes, the balls he was pinging about, Mike, with that left foot, they were like, I thought I was watching Stevie G out there.
He's improved into such a proper league player, a centre-back who's confident with the ball at his feet and has just got massive amount of ability to ping the ball, like you said, left, right and centre, and he can defend as well. So, listen, it's great for us to have him.
And he's just one young defender in there. It was a man of the match performance from Sam Ling, Danny. Obviously, you know Martin very well, but it's great to see Sam, his football being appreciated. He's a good young right back, isn't he?
I thought he had a really good game today. He's obviously been in and out of the squad. I think a run of games will do him good. He wants to get forward, and I think the structure that we've got allows him to do that. And you've got that on both sides of the pitch in abundance, that ability to go and do that.
Yeah, so it's another young defender playing in a good defence alongside him. It's 2 clean sheets in 2 home games, so it's nothing you can really moan about. Looking at our league form overall, though, Michael, we've got 4 points from the first 3 league games back in the season. This is more points than we had on the board at this point last season. It's looking pretty positive, isn't it? And especially the way the O's have played this afternoon against Stevenage. Definitely.
There's a lot of players out there that play for us in non-league, which is a step up. They're going to learn the game, and mistakes are going to happen. But we can only polish them out with the team that we got with Ross, Danny, Joby on the training ground. I'm sure they'll polish that out, and they will get them back to being a Football League player.
I am looking forward to seeing how we continue to play this style of football in the Football League and how we continue to adapt. And so as we look to our future fixtures, Mike, we've got another northern trip on a Tuesday night, Mansfield away. Like most games in this league, it's not going to be an easy one, is it?
No game in this league is ever going to be easy, as today showed. You know, Stevenage had a lot of injuries today, but they defended for their lives. I thought they defended very well, to be fair. Even though we created chances, they put their bodies on the line. The amount of blocks, as Danny alluded to earlier, unbelievable. But looking forward to away on Tuesday night. I'll take a point there all day long. 100% take a point and crack on.
Yeah, hopefully it's hoping to get some form on the road, which would be better sooner rather than later. And then it's 2 successive home games, Danny. They're good opportunities, these, isn't it? To get out in front of a rocking Brow Group Stadium and play some football. I'm guessing it's another Saturday you're looking forward to.
Yeah, hopefully home comfort, as you say. 2 clean sheets at home is something to build on. Priority, as Ross, Joby and Danny will all be saying, clearly is on Tuesday, but come Saturday hopefully we'll have another higher crowd. Obviously school holidays prevents some from being able to come, so they're in sunnier climes, but hopefully we can get over sort of 6,000 next Saturday, and crowd again today was behind us, and good crowd numbers for this time of year.
All right, boys, well, thank you so much for coming up and joining me this afternoon. Thank you for your input, and we'll see you at Mansfield on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Up the O's. Thank you very much, Danny.